Greek fable. It's called The Hedgehog and the Fox. Now, this is going to be hard. The hedgehog is a dowdy little character. He would fit in the palm of your hands. He looks like some sort of a genetic mix-up, a blend of an armadillo and a porcupine. And he's kind of slow and do-do-do. He goes about his business. He's kind of a cute little guy. And he wakes up in the morning, and his sole purpose is to find lunch. He goes out to find lunch, and he eats insects, and he eats all kinds of stuff. Some days he feels like a salad, and he might have some grass or some seeds or something, but he goes out to find lunch. And in order to do that, he has to stay alive, but that's what he does. His mission is to find lunch. Now, there's a thing called a fox, and the fox is a beautiful creature, and it is swift, and it is smart, it is cunning, it is very quick, beautiful red coat, and the fox is everything that the hedgehog is not. And one day, the little hedgehog woke up and started his day to go out to get his lunch. And the fox spied him and knew there was a tasty morsel. So the fox got ready to pounce. And the fox pounced upon the little hedgehog. And the little hedgehog, seeking danger, knowing that there was danger, rolled up into a ball. A tight little ball that left nothing but the spines and the quills exposed. And the fox got a snootful of spears. And the fox decided that wasn't a very good thing. So after the fox got rid of all of the quills in his nose, he decided he was going to try this again, because the fox is fast and he is very, very good. And he knew that he could get that little dowdy-doo-doo-doo character. And so he laid in waiting, and he had a plan. And sure enough, the little hedgehog came by, doo-doo-doo, and boom, he got to jump. But just as he was ready to land on him, the little hedgehog once again sensed danger and rolled up into a little ball. So the fox, he stopped, but he vowed the next day he'd have a new plan. And this went on day after day after day. And every time the fox would just about get him, the little hedgehog would roll up into that ball. So in spite of being slow and what some people mistook for being maybe not too bright, the little hedgehog won every day. His adversary was beautiful and fast and wily and everything, and yet the hedgehog won every single day. Well, the title of my talk today is The Mission. So I want to thank everyone for coming out on this beautiful summer day. Isn't it beautiful? Wow, it is great. Summer is finally here, and boy, is it. This has been a gorgeous weekend. I understand that it's going to continue. So, yes, thank you very much for coming out. And thank you to anyone who is watching a video. Last month, we had over 800 hours of people watching these videos on YouTube. So thank you to the people that are watching remote as well. The mission, the title of my talk today. I'm going to talk about the importance of mission. Then I'm going to talk about what is the mission of ACSL. And lastly, how do we determine what our mission is? So first of all, the importance of mission. A guy by the name of Cliff Christopher tells a really compelling story. He was in the U.S. Army in the first Gulf War, Desert Storm, when Saddam Hussein and the Iraqis had taken over Kuwait, and the United States and allies had assembled an army in Saudi Arabia, and everybody knew that they were going to go forth. And I think there were about 120,000 Americans and another 30,000 between the Canadians and the British. And they were preparing to invade Kuwait and drive out Saddam Hussein and his men. There were more than double that number of Iraqis on the other side. They had a lot of oil money. They were well funded. They had the newest AK-47s. They had brand new uniforms, had their name on the thing, and boy, they were ready. They knew what they were doing. But the U.S. and the Allies knew their mission. Every man knew the mission. Our mission is to drive Saddam Hussein and his men out of Kuwait. Every single man knew the mission. Our mission is to drive Saddam Hussein and his men out of Kuwait. Well, the day finally came, and the order came. Launch, invade. And the tanks rolled across the border. And the only thing that the Allies didn't foresee was the vast number of surrenders. What they didn't anticipate was that the Iraqis had no sense of mission. They didn't know what their mission was. They didn't know why they were there. They were there with their brand new weapons. They were there with their brand new uniforms, and they were ripping off the name tags and surrendering as fast as they could. They didn't have a mission. And so this much smaller force that knew their mission handily, easily defeated a much larger force that didn't know their mission. We had a hedgehog concept. We were like the little hedgehog. We knew what we were about. We knew what we were going to do. And we're able to do that. A guy by the name of Isaiah Berlin wrote a beautiful essay. And in this essay, he compares us to the hedgehog and the fox. And he says all of us are either hedgehogs or foxes. And there's nothing wrong with the fox, don't misunderstand me, but it's important that we know what our mission is. And he wrote this: hedgehogs simplify a complex world into a single organizing idea, a basic principle or concept that unifies and guides everything. For a hedgehog, anything that does not somehow relate to the hedgehog idea holds no relevance. It's right out of our sacred reading. In our philosophy, what we do, this is what was in our sacred reading today, if you paid attention. See only what you wish to experience and look at nothing else. See what you wish to experience and look at nothing else. So even within our philosophy, we have a hedgehog concept. And this is, it's rampant through many religions, many traditions. Within the Abrahamic tradition, we look through, from the Hebrews. Last time I talked about the Hebrews, remember, they had escaped Egypt and they were having to out wander around the desert for 40 years until they could forget their slave mentality and get their new mentality. Well, after that, they had a series of really great kings, and I don't know all of them. I probably should have researched better, but there was Samuel, and then Saul. Then they had the famous King David, he of the slingshot that took down the giant, and then Solomon. But there was one thing through many of these kings: as long as they held to their hedgehog concept, which was keep their focus on God, the Hebrew people prospered and things went great. It's when they took their eye off the ball and they started looking at other things that then things started falling apart. And we look at Solomon. The reason I did all this is because Solomon, we think of the wise Solomon the wise. And in the beginning, he was focused on his relationship to God. But after a while, Solomon started enjoying the good life. He started enjoying, the perks, the wealth, the fame, all of the things, I didn't have a fancy car, did he? But he had the fancy chariot, whatever, and the big house, and he built a beautiful temple, and he became enamored with the physical things in the world, and that took his eye off the hedgehog concept of God. And when that happened, then Solomon had all the problems that went with it. In our philosophy, once again, we talk about one power, one presence, one life. That life is the life of God. We focus on the one. guy by the name of Marvin Bresler, he's a professor at Princeton University, wrote, "You want to know what separates those who make the biggest impact from all of the others who are just as smart? They're hedgehogs. Freud and the unconscious, Darwin and natural selection, Marx and the class struggle, Einstein and relativity, Adam Smith and the division of labor, and I think we could add Ernest Holmes and the science of mind. They are all hedgehogs. They took a complex world and simplified it." So we've got this idea that it's important for us to have a hedgehog concept, to have an idea of what we're here to do. What is our mission? What are we doing? Well, what is the mission of ACSL? Can you tell me? What is our mission? Wonderful. Again, what is our mission? Teach spiritual transformation with grace and joy. We all know that. We say it every single Sunday. We say it at every leadership council meeting. We do it all the time. We keep focused on our mission to drive Saddam Hussein and his men out of Kuwait. And we try never to take our eye off that. You know, and I am pulled many, many times that, and I know congregants really are loving and kind and well-meaning in their hearts, and they want us to feed the poor and to clothe the naked and to help our community and do all of those things, and that's wonderful. And it's important that we do that, but it's not our mission. And I'm going to use the example of fish, Fellowship in Serving Humanity. We have supported fish on several occasions. Feeding the hungry is their mission. They're set up for it. They're good at it. Oh, are they ever? You know, they've got ways to collect food. They've got ways to distribute food. They've got they know what they need and they do it. They called here and they wanted mac and cheese and peanut butter. They knew what they wanted. And the first time we did that never even went into the e-blast. It never got any announcements. It didn't do anything. I forgot all about it to get it in the announcements, even though I know the lady that prepares the announcements. And so just during the sermon, I said, oh, by the way, this little organization, Fish, needs mac and cheese and peanut butter. And if you think about it, would you bring it? And when these ladies showed up the next week, we couldn't fit it all into their van. This is a loving, caring, giving community. And we do support that, but feeding the hungry is not our mission. We support those who do. And we do so. I don't know if everyone is aware or not, that out of the collection, out of what you guys do to support us, the first thing that we do is 10% goes to home office. We tithe to home office. The next thing we do is we take 5% and circulate that back into the Anchorage community, supporting those others and supporting the other things that are not our mission. And we see a list there of the things that, you know, we are going to give and have given thus far. You know, in January was the Anchorage Downtown Soup Kitchen. February is Victims for Justice. March, we split it between Clare House and the McConnell House, and so forth. We give something every single month. I don't have the dollars up there that we've given, but it's all based on what you guys give us every Sunday, and it works out to be about $650 a month we give to one of these organizations whose mission it is to feed the poor, to help the homicide survivors, between the various things that we do. It's not that we don't care, but it's not our mission. It's not what we're good at. So how did we arrive at this mission of teaching spiritual transformation with grace and joy? Well, I'll tell you, the first thing that we did, we visioned. Everything that we do in this center is grounded in visioning. It's a spiritual practice that I personally embrace. I think it is important for me in my life, and I'd like to share that. If you have not taken the class in visioning, you have an awesome, wonderful opportunity to train under one of the best facilitators we have ever had in Cindy. And so if you haven't signed up, do. It's an awesome class. And it's fun. It's not like Roots or, some of those that are pretty dry. Wow, Sarah's liking Roots. I get a lot of rest in Roots. I sleep through it. Roots is fine. But there are some classes that are a little heavier in the academic side, and visioning is not one of them. So how do we come to that? What we did is, and this goes back a long way. This goes back to Reverend Guy days. This is before we had a mission, vision, whatever it was. And what we did is we took a list, and we made a list of everything that we're passionate about. And I remember some of the things were on that list. Food and potlucks. Well, we are food, coffee. We like our coffee. And, some of those things were, clothe the naked and feed the poor. There are a lot of things that we are, Bodie, passionate about. He always knows he is awesome. We listed all of those things that we're passionate about. And then we made another list. And we made a list of all of the things that we could be best in class at. That we could be the best in Anchorage, the best in Alaska at. And we made this big list of all of those. And I remember food showed up on that one too. Because we got a lot of ladies in this place that can cook. And men. There are some men that cook. I made my famous bean salad. They didn't very good. As we made a list of all of that. And then we took another list. We made a third list. And we call it, what drives our economic engine? Because we know that we live in an abundant universe. And we absolutely trust in that. We believe that. We know that. And it's important that we are good financial stewards. And so we made a list of all of the things that drives our economic engine. So that we can have a place where we can meet, a place where we can have confidentiality, where we can be at peace, and we can create a space to allow people to experience spiritual transformation with grace and joy. And you can't do that at Starbucks, and you can't do that at the Anchorage School District when you rent a classroom. You need a sacred place to do that. And so that is the kind of thing that we do. So we made a list of all of those things. We came up and we merged those three circles together in a thing called a Venn diagram. And this is our Venn diagram. Back. We listed all of the things that we're passionate about. We listed all of the things that we could be best in Alaska at. And then we listed the things that drive our economic engine. And what we're looking for is that sweet spot in the middle that hits all three of those. And we did that, and we came up with an amazing thing. We came up with our hedgehog concept, and that is teaching spiritual transformation with grace and joy. It drives our economic engine because we do charge for classes, but our community is so loving, so supporting. If you can't afford a class, I'll just about guarantee you're not going to have to miss a class because you can't afford it. Somebody is going to step up and scholarship you. We do it because we're passionate about it. We absolutely know. I get to see it all the time. I get to see lives transformed every week. And what is the thing that we can be best at? There is not another spiritual organization in this state, this city, that comes anywhere close to what we do in terms of teaching and classes. We have that nailed, and we're good at it. We're really, really good at it. And we are already best in class at teaching spiritual transformation. So it goes to do that. So when we came up with this, and this was our idea a long, long time ago. And the statement that we had, and it was before we had a mission, a purpose, and a vision. We had this, and I don't even remember what we called it. I'm sure somebody does. Okay, our purpose statement, and we loved it big. And I think it was Allison Wilson came in and gave us the acronym ACSL, because ACSL was brand new to us. We were just born ACSL. Before that, we'd been a Church of Religious Science. But it was, we awaken to our oneness with Spirit. We connect as community to empower and support spiritual transformation. We share sacred service and spiritual education, and we learn to live to our highest potential. And that was our old one. So 3 years ago, we invited a guy up from the lower 48. He's a smart guy, and he's going to come up and lead us through this process of defining our vision and our mission and our purpose statements. And he did that, and I don't even remember all the stuff we did, but I remember we had all these things on the board, and we'd run up and we'd put dots on the board, and so we boiled this all down, and we almost lost our serenity and peace over grace. Thought we were going to go to war over grace. But we got there. We finally got there. And so we came up with it, with this whole idea, our purpose. Why do we exist as an organization? It's to awaken and inspire love and oneness. And what is our vision? What is it that we can become? What do we want to be when we grow up? An empowered, uplifting, inclusive community. And our mission, no, not to drive Saddam Hussein and his men out of Kuwait. Our mission is to teach spiritual transformation with grace and joy. The conclusion, what I want everybody to remember today, what I want everyone to take away today is that we do indeed have a mission at this center. And that mission is important. That mission is vitally important. It's important to each and every one of us as members of this community, but it spreads out far beyond that. Because each and every one of you, whether you know it or not, are teachers. You are the example to other people. You are the one that they say, I want what she has. I want what he's got. I want some of that. And every one of you carry that with you all the time. We have a mission, and we are accomplishing it. And that's the takeaway for today. We teach spiritual transformation with grace and joy. And I thank you. And I think now, before we go into the healing prayer, I see we have Bodhi. Okay. You can just come up. We're going to get Emma? Okay.
And you brought some special people with you?
Oh.
Would you guys like to step forward? Thank you for joining us today. It's such a special occasion. And this is Bodhi. And so today we're going to confer some blessings not only on Bodhi, but on Emma, who's busy next door playing, about to come over. Here we go. Wait, just Emma. Just Emma. Just Emma. Sorry. Oh, hi, Emma. Hi, Emma. Hi. Welcome.
Well, welcome. We're here to celebrate the gift of life. Emma and Bodhi embody the miracle of life that we celebrate today. As we celebrate this miracle, we also realize that Emma and Bodhi's presence, so new and perfect, reminds us that the same perfect life is in each one of us. So now we invite Sonia to stand in support of Emma and Bodhi.
Our intention here today is to recognize Emma's and Bodhi's perfection, to welcome Emma and Bodhi to earth and to our midst, and to pledge, along with their family, to see these children for the unrepeatable miracle that they are now, and the miracle that they become as they grow into children, adolescents, young adults, and on, for as long as we are blessed with their company. It is so easy to see these little ones as perfect and divine, We have the opportunity to remind ourselves that the same perfect and divine life that we see in these children is in us.
Additionally, we are here to witness the promises of parenthood that Sonia has made in support of her children. Although the mystery of life has already made her a parent, we witness and celebrate the conscious acceptance of that sacred state of parenthood. Okay. Yes. So Sonia and Daniel have been given the gift of parenthood. All of us are here to bless you and thank you for making the selfless decision to give of your energy, your time, your resources, and mostly your love to nurture these beings of light. May the joys of parenthood overshadow any sleepless nights, stress, or challenges that you may experience in the days and years to come as parents of these precious children. Know that all of us here today support you and are here for you. In order to make this day even more significant, I have some questions for you to answer in the presence of these people who love you and who love Emma and Bodhi. Will you teach Emma and Bodhi the highest truths of life as purely as you understand them, always striving to become wiser, more patient, and more loving yourselves? And now, parents and congregation, we will. Will you always love and respect the uniqueness of the life that springs forth from Emma and Bodhi as spiritual persons with a purpose and a mission on earth? We will. Will you conduct your own lives as an example to Emma and Bodhi of divine qualities in action, among which are love, peace, joy, and harmony? We will. Oh, you guys are catching on. Good.
Now, as a way of welcoming Emma and Bodhi to this earth, and a symbol of all the delights we wish for them in their life here, we present this plant and this candle. With water, dear Emma and Bodhi, we bless you. May you be open to the gift of your feeling, to the gift of laughter and tears. May you learn the power of acceptance and the strength of gentleness. Water nourishes the soul. The flame of passion is in your spirit. We wish for you that you accomplish all that you have come to earth to do. We are all here to help you. So, dearest Emma and Bodhi, hi. We see you for the perfect expression of life that you are. Thank you for coming to bless us. Whether we are aware of it or not, we have been waiting for you. See? You are here now, and we are so very happy. Our life is expanded and blessed because of you. We know you to do amazing things, and we are here to support you. You are a miracle. You are magnificent. And you are capable to accomplish all that you have come here to do. By our seeing who you truly are, may you be reminded of the life that lives within you.
Now, as we have truly seen these perfect children, may we take a moment and look into each other's faces and truly see each other. We are each unrepeatable miracles who have come to earth with purpose and mission. May we empower each other and ourselves by seeing those who, in this moment, see us. As Sonia and Daniel have vowed to care for and nurture Emma and Bodhi, may we know that we are nurtured by the power of life. As Emma and Bodhi are now enfolded in the loving arms of their mother, may we know that we are forever enfolded in the loving embrace of Spirit. And so it is.
Thank you very much for joining us.
And so we just remain in this sacred place where we recognize the divine in one another. And it is from this place, this platform of love, that we know that we are each individualized expressions of the Most High, that each of us is here for a purpose. Each of us has a mission. Each of us is here to do amazing things. And so I speak my word now for each and every one who is experiencing the effects of trouble in their lives, the effects of something out of alignment. We just simply know that beyond these effects, there is truth. Beyond the appearance and the effect of lack and limitation, that we live in an abundant universe. And that universe is open to us at every moment. And so those who are experiencing that lack and limitation, I just know that that universe is always there and waiting. I speak my word for those who are experiencing health challenges. We just simply know that beyond any challenge of health or dis-ease, there is a pattern within each and every one of us, a pattern that is perfect in every way. A blueprint of perfection, and it is that blueprint that we call forth and recognize. And lastly, I speak my word for anyone who is experiencing the separation, the appearance of separation from one another, separation from God. For we know that that's impossible because God is always with each and every one of us. But sometimes we feel distance. We feel remote from each other, from God. And we know that that just simply can't be. And so we know that that divine presence is in all of the things that we do. So every relationship is already blessed. Whether it be work, whether it be family, whether it be a romantic relationship, it makes no difference because it is all God. And God is with us always. And so we just give thanks. We give thanks for our awareness of the power and the presence of God in our lives. We let it go, we let it be, and so it is.